12 late summer blooming shrubs that will steal the show. Hello my green-thumbed friends, and welcome back to Earthly Delights, the space where nature meets nurture, and every leaf tells a story. Whether you're a backyard dreamer, a balcony grower, or someone just beginning to turn their patch of earth into something magical, today's journey is for you. Have you ever looked out at your garden in late July and sighed? The spring blooms are gone, early summer stars are fading, and suddenly everything feels flat. But what if I told you this was just the beginning of your garden's second act? Today, I'm going to reveal 12 stunning shrubs that don't just survive the summer heat, they come alive in it. These plants don't whisper, they sing. Bold blooms, rich textures, and pollinators galore. And best of all, most of them thrive with minimal effort. Perfect for busy plant lovers like you. So if you've been longing to refresh your garden or add a vibrant splash to your landscape just when everything else starts slowing down, stay with me, because the show's about to begin. Before we dig in, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more plant wisdom, creative gardening tips, and a community that grows together. Season by Season. Part 1. Drama Queens in Full Sun, Showstoppers for the Backdrop. Late summer doesn't have to mean dull borders or faded beauty. In fact, this is when some of the boldest, most breathtaking shrubs step into the spotlight. These are the queens of the heat, thriving under full sun, demanding little and giving back in glorious waves of color, texture, and movement. If your garden needs a grand statement, these next plants are born performers. Let's meet the first star of the show. 1. Rose of Sharon Pink Chiffon, the summer showstopper. Meet the Rose of Sharon Pink Chiffon, a shrub that doesn't just bloom, it performs. Just when most flowers start to droop in the summer heat, this beauty steps onto center stage with ruffled, soft pink blossoms the size of your hand. Each bloom looks like it's made of delicate tissue, unfolding in gentle waves beneath the full glare of the afternoon sun. But don't let its elegance fool you. This is one tough plant. It thrives in full sun, handles drought like a pro once established, and needs almost no attention. No constant watering, no deadheading, just pure summer drama. Its upright, vase-like shape makes it perfect for back borders or flanking a front gate, creating an instant sense of grandeur. Bees and butterflies absolutely adore it, turning your garden into a stage of fluttering color and motion from July through September. Want hummingbirds to drop by? This is your golden ticket. It's not just a shrub, it's a standing ovation waiting to happen. 2. Buddleia Black Knight, the butterfly sorcerer. If there's one plant that knows how to summon life into your garden, it's the Buddleia Black Knight. With its long, velvety spikes of deep purple blooms, this butterfly bush doesn't just attract attention, it commands it. From midsummer through fall, its honey-scented flowers lure in a parade of pollinators, bees, butterflies, and even the occasional hummingbird. Each flower cluster stretches like a magic wand, casting a spell of color and fragrance across your yard. The contrast between the moody purple blooms and the silvery green foliage adds depth and drama to any border. And despite its enchanting looks, Black Knight is low maintenance. It thrives in poor soil, full sun, and dry conditions, making it a dream for gardeners who want big results with little effort. Give it a spot near a patio or garden bench, and you'll be treated to an endless fluttering performance. For those who want their garden buzzing with beauty, even in the blazing heat, this shrub is pure sorcery. 3. Crepe Myrtle Dynamite, fireworks in bloom. When the summer sun turns fierce and the garden begins to lose steam, Crepe Myrtle Dynamite comes alive like a grand finale on the 4th of July. Its bold, crinkled red blooms explode in massive clusters, covering the ends of branches like bursts of fireworks. And just when you think the show is over, it keeps going. From midsummer through early fall, this shrub never stops blooming. But the beauty doesn't stop with the flowers. As the season unfolds, the bark begins to exfoliate, revealing smooth, cinnamon-toned layers beneath. It's a textural surprise that adds off-season charm. Dynamite thrives in full sun, poor soil, and high humidity. Once established, it barely asks for anything, just an occasional deep watering and a little admiration. Use it as a focal point in your front yard, a fiery anchor in the garden, or let it grow into a small ornamental tree. When other plants are fading, Dynamite is still setting the sky on fire. It's not just heat-tolerant, it lives for the spotlight. Part 2. Cool characters for hot days. Sophisticated and serene picks. Not every late summer star has to shout for attention. Some shrubs bring a quiet elegance, cool tones, graceful shapes, and a calming presence that balances the bolder blooms around them. These next picks are the garden's refined artists. Steady, stylish, and deeply rewarding. If you're looking to create contrast and calm, this is where your garden begins to breathe again. 4. Hydrangea paniculata limelight, the garden's chandelier. If your garden needs a touch of sophistication in the blazing heat, limelight is your answer. This hydrangea doesn't wilt when summer peaks, it glows. From mid-July through early fall, it sends out massive cone-shaped flower heads in a vibrant lime green hue, slowly blushing into soft pink and rose as the season matures. It's like watching your garden sip champagne under golden hour light. Each bloom can stretch over a foot long, rising above lush green foliage like torches of light. Despite its delicate looks, limelight is a hardy performer. It handles full sun better than most hydrangeas, tolerates dry spells, and keeps its flowers intact long after bloom time, providing structure even in winter. It needs only an annual prune and average soil to thrive, making it surprisingly easy for beginner gardeners. Whether planted in containers, lined in rows, or standing alone as a showpiece, limelight brings a soft glow that elevates everything around it. Sophisticated, reliable, and radiant, its elegance in bloom. 5. Abelia kaleidoscope, a living work of art. Abelia kaleidoscope isn't just a shrub, it's a moving canvas of color that shifts with the seasons. From midsummer onward, it comes alive with clusters of tiny, fragrant white flowers that bees can't resist. But the real magic lies in its foliage. Golden yellow leaves with creamy edges slowly blush into shades of coral, orange, and pink as summer deepens into fall, just like a sunset evolving day by day. This compact, evergreen shrub stays tidy and dense, making it perfect for borders, walkways, or even containers. It thrives in full sun to partial shade and is remarkably drought-tolerant once established. Abelia doesn't fuss. It simply performs, quietly, gracefully, and with endless visual interest. It's ideal for gardeners who love low-maintenance plants that give back in big, beautiful ways. Pair it with ornamental grasses or darker-leaved companions for contrast, and you'll see why kaleidoscope earns its name. It's not loud, but it's unforgettable. A shrub that surprises you every time you walk by. 6. Caryopteris beyond midnight, the midnight bloom spell. In the height of summer, when much of the garden begins to droop, Caryopteris beyond midnight rises to the occasion, cool, composed, and quietly dazzling. Its deep blue flowers appear like clusters of sapphires, lining silvery green stems that shimmer in the heat. It's a rare burst of blue during a time when most gardens lean toward reds and yellows, making it a standout in any border. What makes this small shrub truly magical is its ability to attract bees and butterflies in swarms. Each nectar-rich bloom becomes a gathering place for pollinators, turning even the quietest corners of your yard into a hub of activity. And while the wildlife parties, the plant itself stays perfectly neat and compact. Beyond midnight blooms on new wood, so you can prune it back hard in winter and still count on a spectacular summer display. It loves full sun, thrives in well-drained soil, and shrugs off heat, drought, and pests with ease. Tuck it into tight spaces, edge a pathway, or brighten up a rock garden. It may be small, but its presence is powerful. Part 3. Southern grace and whimsical charm, big beauty with a breezy feel. Now let's turn to the shrubs that bring movement, fragrance, and a touch of wild elegance. These plants feel like a southern breeze, soft, airy, and full of life. If you're drawn to gardens that feel relaxed yet vibrant, these next choices will speak your language. They're large, graceful, and perfectly tuned for high summer drama with a gentle touch. 7. Chase Tree Shoal Creek, lavender whispers in the heat. Graceful yet commanding, the Chase Tree Shoal Creek brings a breath of fresh air to late summer gardens. Its long spires of lavender blue blooms sway gently in the breeze, releasing a soft, herbal fragrance that attracts bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds from every direction. Each bloom feels like a whisper in the heat, cool, calming, and full of charm. This large shrub, or small tree, depending on how you prune it, offers a light, airy silhouette with finely textured, gray-green leaves that give off a subtle tropical vibe. As the flowers rise in July and carry on through August, the whole plant seems to float with movement and life. Trim it lightly after the first wave of blooms, and you may be rewarded with a second floral encore before fall sets in. Shoal Creek loves full sun, tolerates poor soil, and shrugs off drought like it was born for tough conditions. Whether you use it as a centerpiece in a pollinator-friendly border, or let it stand alone by a patio or pathway, this plant adds elegance without effort. It's not just beautiful, it's a conversation starter in full bloom. 8. Calocarpa beautyberry, the late summer surprise. At first glance, Calocarpa, better known as beautyberry, seems like a quiet presence in the garden. But just wait until late summer. That's when this modest shrub reveals its hidden treasure. Vivid, electric purple berries that cluster tightly along the stems like strings of glowing pearls. It's a twist ending worthy of a standing ovation. While many plants begin to fade, beautyberry is just getting interesting. The berries emerge after tiny, pale pink summer blooms and create one of the most eye-catching effects in the entire garden. Birds love them, but they're just as beloved by gardeners for their pop of unexpected color, especially when planted near more traditional green or gold-toned shrubs. The foliage is clean and fresh-looking through the growing season, turning a soft yellow in fall before dropping to reveal those striking berries. Calocarpa thrives in full sun to part shade, handles heat and humidity well, and is incredibly low maintenance. Use it as a mid-border stunner or let it shine in more natural woodland-style plantings. It's the kind of plant that rewards patience with a jaw-dropping finish. 9. Spirea japonica goldflame, the sunset that keeps shifting. Some shrubs give you flowers, others give you foliage, but Spirea goldflame, it gives you both, and then keeps changing the script. From the moment its golden yellow leaves unfurl in spring, this compact shrub is a visual standout. But when summer hits, it takes things up a notch. Soft pink flower clusters rise above the foliage like floating crowns, drawing in butterflies and bees for weeks. As summer stretches on, the leaves begin to shift, first to lime, then to coppery orange, and finally to fiery bronze by fall. It's like watching the colors of a sunset unfold slowly, right at ground level. And through it all, goldflame stays neat, rounded, and easy to manage. This shrub is ideal for borders, foundation plantings, or lining a pathway where its changing colors can really be appreciated. It thrives in full sun, asks little in return, and only needs occasional shaping to stay lush. For gardeners who love long-lasting interest and color that evolves with the season, goldflame delivers a dazzling performance from start to finish. Part 4. Small spaces, big impact. Shrubs that shine in tight corners. Not every garden has sprawling borders or wide-open beds, and that's where these compact powerhouses come in. Perfect for patios, containers, or small urban spaces, these next shrubs prove that size doesn't limit beauty. With bold color, pollinator appeal, and year-round charm, they make a big impression wherever you plant them. Let's explore the little stars with the loudest voices. 10. Hypericum sunburst, sunshine in shrub form. If your garden needs a little spark in the late summer heat, Hypericum sunburst delivers, like a burst of pure sunlight. This compact, cheerful shrub is covered in bright yellow flowers from July through September, each bloom adorned with a flurry of golden stamens that seem to shimmer in the sun. It's like having fireworks planted right outside your door. But sunburst isn't just about flowers. After the blooms fade, they're followed by colorful berries that shift from red to orange, adding another layer of interest well into autumn. The dark green foliage stays crisp and neat, forming a rounded, bushy shape, perfect for edging walkways or filling containers. This plant thrives in full sun, tolerates drought, and resists most pests and diseases, making it an ideal choice for busy gardeners or those new to planting. Whether you want to brighten up a small space or add contrast to your flower beds, sunburst shines effortlessly. Low maintenance, high reward, and bursting with life. It brings instant joy in a pint-sized package. 11. Rose Knockout Red, the comeback queen. When it comes to effortless beauty and non-stop blooms, few shrubs compete with the knockout red rose. This compact, bushy wonder begins flowering in early summer, but it's in late July and August when it truly earns its crown. Wave after wave of rich velvety red blossoms keep coming, without any deadheading required. Just when most other plants start to wind down, this rose kicks into high gear. The glossy, dark green foliage provides the perfect backdrop to make the blooms pop, and unlike traditional roses, it's incredibly disease-resistant and low maintenance. No spraying, no fussing, just vibrant color and consistent performance, even in the heat of summer. Perfect for borders, foundation plantings, or even large containers, Knockout Red is as versatile as it is striking. It attracts bees and butterflies, tolerates urban conditions, and handles a bit of neglect with grace. For gardeners short on time but big on impact, this rose doesn't ask much. It just keeps delivering bloom after bloom, season after season. It's a classic, redefined for the modern garden. 12. Hibiscus Midnight Marvel, the bold finale. If your garden needs a jaw-dropping finale to close out the summer season, Hibiscus Midnight Marvel is the star you've been waiting for. With enormous, velvety red blooms spanning up to 9 inches across, it commands attention the moment it starts to flower in late July, and it doesn't stop until early fall. Each blossom lasts only a day, but the plant produces so many that it's in constant, showy motion. What makes this hibiscus even more extraordinary is its deep burgundy foliage, which provides striking contrast to the fiery red blooms. The leaves shimmer with a near-black undertone, adding mood and drama even when the plant isn't in full flower. Midnight Marvel loves full sun, moist but well-drained soil, and space to stretch. Though it looks exotic, it's surprisingly hardy and easy to grow, bouncing back quickly each spring with vigorous new growth. Use it as a centerpiece in a container or a bold anchor in your landscape. It's unforgettable either way. When the rest of the garden is catching its breath, this hibiscus is stealing the entire show. Keep your garden glowing until the last warm breeze. So there you have it, 12 spectacular shrubs that don't fade in the heat. They thrive in it. From fiery blooms to shimmering foliage, these plants prove that late summer isn't the end of the season, it's the garden's encore. Whether you have a small balcony, a sprawling yard, or something in between, there's a late summer shrub here that can transform your space into a living canvas of color, texture, and life. The best part? Most of these beauties are low maintenance, pollinator-friendly, and heat-tolerant. Perfect for those of you who love gardening but don't want to spend every spare minute watering or fussing. Let nature do the work while you enjoy the show. Which one of these late bloomers caught your eye? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're planning to light up your garden through July, August, and beyond. And if you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more plant wisdom, garden inspiration, and tips tailored for real people with real spaces. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and let your garden steal the show.